Jerry Jones has officially lost his mind, speaking out on the decision of a coach who has been under a considerable amount of scrutiny and just made a absolutely undefendable decision, which, is not going to go over very well with fans. We got to break it down. What's up, guys? I'm Matt Long. Welcome to Cowboys Football 365. If you're a Dallas Cowboy fan, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps me out a ton. But let's jump right into the news for today. Coming from our insider John Machota on Twitter, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan on why Logan Wilson didn't play yesterday. He said, "I don't have an explanation for you on why Wilson wasn't in there. We planned to have him in there. He needs to be in there. He has good instincts. The reason why we got him was because he reads the play quick and can basically be in his lane of responsibility and react quick. It's critical that a linebacker have quick reacting ability. He's able to do that. That's why we got him." Jerry Jones talking about the midseason trade deadline acquisition of Logan Wilson, the middle linebacker from the Cincinnati Bengals, talking about how he likes his ability to pretty much be in the right gap, play at a high level mentally, and not make mistakes, which the entire Cowboys defense has been prone to doing over the entire course of the season. If you watch how we play, it is very clear and obvious that the biggest reason is not lack of talent. When it comes to why we are the third worst defense in the league, it's because of just a lack of cohesion, and players just don't play together. And for whatever reason, big catastrophic mental errors happen, which leads to us allowing too many explosive plays, which is why teams are able to run, just move the ball up and down the field against us on defense. So Logan Wilson, we traded a 7th round pick for him at the trade deadline to help alleviate these problems. And now he's not even in the game for whatever reason. Doesn't play at all versus the Commanders. Jerry Jones speaks out and is just talking about the decisions made by Matt Eberflus, who is becoming more and more likely pretty much by the day, not even by the week at this point, that he will not be the defensive coordinator going forwards for our Dallas Cowboys next season. Absolutely the right decision. Ever since week one, this hiring has been an absolute dumpster fire. Schotty's done a great job overall at head coaching this team. There have been a lot of curveballs thrown at him this year as a leader, and Schottenheimer has handled those with professionalism, with football acumen, and he has done a great job bringing this team together through some really, really tough times this season. But the guy that is not going to be sticking around with this program for next season is going to be Matt Eberflus. The defensive coordinator only has one more game left after the Giants game. It's pretty much a lock that Jerry Jones will be letting him go. But something I found really funny on Twitter, the Jerry Jones translator says, translation, our soon-to-be fired defensive coordinator is more incompetent than I thought he was a week ago. This is a really, really funny tweet that I just thought I had to bring out. But Jerry Jones is just shining a light on the fact that he does not agree with the decisions that are being made by the coaching staff, which is a problem because you have to make sure your general manager and coaches are on the same page when it comes to what players are going to be brought into the locker room. If you're the general manager, you shouldn't be spending assets, draft picks, trading for players that the coaching staff doesn't want to use. So you got to make sure you're on the same page there. You have to make sure that if, as a general manager, Jerry Jones, he has to talk to the coaches and figure out, if I trade for this guy, are you actually going to use him? And I know a 7th round pick isn't an expensive price tag to go out and spend on a trade acquisition, but still, it's still an asset that we would be better off hanging on to instead of trading for a player if he's not even going to be seeing the field. Another reason why it is so head scratching, as I literally scratch my head, of why Logan Wilson is not in the game is because the guy that is in the game over him is Kenneth Murray, who has been the worst linebacker that I've seen in football this season, but I'm biasedly been paying closer attention to him than I have been over the course of all linebackers across the season. But Kenneth Murray's been playing horribly, and Logan Wilson is not even being played over him. This has been a trend and a decision that everyone's noticed at this point. At first, you got to really pay attention and you would see that, but now Logan Wilson being not played over Kenneth Murray is a decision that is absolutely undefendable from defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus, and that is just not something that should ever be happening on the football field. Logan Wilson has to be in the game because, yes, even though he hasn't been with this team for the entire season, he still is a leader on the field. He's been a captain, a multiple time captain for the Cincinnati Bengals, which I know also isn't a great defense, but he was there when they were a decent defense a couple of years ago, the first years when Lou Anarumo was there coordinating that defense for the Cincinnati Bengals when they made it to the Super Bowl, losing to the LA Rams. However, now that we have Logan Wilson, if we're going to trade assets for him, you got to play him. And the problem I have is that tells me that the coach and the general manager is not on the same page, and that lack of communication also just another nail in the coffin that tells us that the coach will not be back, because we know darn well that Jerry Jones is going to be back. Unless the worst happens, he will be back. So, Matt Eberflus, thank you for taking the time to try to make this thing work, but unfortunately it did not work out. Next season we will be definitely in the market for a new defensive coordinator. One name that I would like to take a look at would be Don, nicknamed Wink Martindale, currently the defensive coordinator for the Michigan Wolverines at the college level. He was the defensive coordinator for the New York Giants a couple seasons ago. He stepped down when he butted heads with Brian Dable over a slice of pizza. That's the kind of dysfunction that the Cowboys are known for. Bring him in. But he's a great defensive coordinator, though. But if he wants to stay as a defensive coordinator but wants to come back to the NFL, I do think this could be a job that Wink Martindale would be interested in, because we are going to have a defensive coordinator opening and we need a smart guy. We got to bring something in. We know Jerry Jones wants to stop the run, but we're going to have to scheme some other stuff up to rush the passer, because unless we spend one of our 2 first-round picks this season on an edge rusher, which is likely, we don't have any pass rushers. We need Donovan Azaraku, the 2nd-round pick out of BC this season, to continue to develop, but we need more pass rushing help. It is obvious. Matt Eberflus, Jeff, see you never. See you never. If you stuck around this long in the video, I appreciate you taking the time to watch it all the way through. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button if you are new to the channel, and go Cowboys.